Good morning. So it's actually 6:30 in the morning. We've got a frosty start today. I don't know what does it say what the degrees is on the car there, Tom? 5 degrees in the morning. I had a look last night. We've got a maximum of 12 degrees today with a top of 14 degrees for the entire week. If you're in America, that means it's got a top of 57 degrees, 57.2 degrees. Look at me. I'm like the weather girl. Do I want my what? Oh, my beanie. Thank you.
You don't need that.
I'll just open up. Thank you. Right, we're open. Where do I want them? Maybe over here, please. Oh, strong man. Thank you. Is that heavy? Any kangaroos out there?
I don't see any. But they could be camouflage.
It's cold, but the sun's coming out. Thank you.
Nice. Alright, you can't leave your tours. Have fun.
Okay, first things first. I got to wake up the eBay store. I'm pretty sure I had a coupon either finishing overnight or early this morning. So the first thing I'm going to do is check the coupon. Active. So what's it saying? There's one that finishes the 11th of August. That's today at 9 a.m. So it's 7:42 in the morning. I might end that now because otherwise I know what's going to happen. Otherwise I know it's going to get to 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get busy. I'm going to forget. Then there's going to be no coupon running. So I'm just going to end that one now and then restart that in like 5 minutes time. So going to my store yesterday, pretty quiet day yesterday. I got one offer waiting here. Let's have a look. Okay, guys, it is a book that was listed in March. It's listed for $24 and they've offered me 10. Love those lowball offers. Not a chance. Your counter offer, you can have that for $20, but you're not having it for 10. Oh my goodness, my keyboard's run out. I think last time I vlogged the mouse ran out. At least with the keyboard, you can plug the thing in. Review counter order, $20. Now, I don't have many books here to send offers on. I changed I put a new promoted listing campaign on yesterday or the day before. And I actually halved my promoted listing campaign. I quite often experiment with my promoted listing campaigns and I move them up or down. And the other campaign, it had been doing pretty well, but then I noticed like it had started to like go a bit stale, I guess you would say. So when it tends to go stale and starts going all into the red, that's when I tend to restart and do another campaign and get like a fresh one going. But this time I decided to lower my promoted listing rate. And yeah, I was just looking at the fees and I was like, I'm paying so much in eBay fees. This is ridiculous. I'm going to cut it down. But I'll possibly have to tweak it because I can already see that the impressions must be down because there's not as many items being watched by people. So normally that tells me if I'm not getting people watching the items, it's generally because impressions are down. So I just have to keep my eye on that. But I'm going to stick with it for a few days because sometimes you get that lull as soon as you change something and then it comes back. So I'm not going to rush into changing it, but if say in like a week's time, if the impressions are still like dramatically down, then I will like start going up, but I'll go up like a percentage at a time. So yeah, I don't like to just jump from like, you know, a few percent up to like 8% or anything like that. I like to like go up. If I start back at 3%, I want to go up to 4% and then 5% and then slowly find the sweet spot, because I do find that the sweet spot on promoted listings differs for different times of the year. It also differs depending on how much I'm listing at the time. If I'm not listing very much, sometimes I have to promote higher just because I don't have as much activity going into my eBay store. If I'm doing like heavy listing, daily listing, then sometimes I feel like I can drop my promoted listings down. So anyway, what's this one? I want to send a couple of offers here. This is an old listing. I'm going to send an aggressive offer on that one. And this one can have 30% off. Now I'm just going to go to my orders. The first thing I do when I check my orders in the morning is to check for express orders. There's a real flaw in the eBay system where it doesn't flag the express orders. Like I really wish it bumped to them to the top and put like a little red like banner or something that it said express order. But it doesn't. You have to actually manually go to your drop down. And I do have one express order, so that was really good for me to check that, because I will admit that sometimes I forget to check if there's any express orders. And most of the time there's not. So it's not like it's something that I really miss, but I do sometimes forget to check it because I don't get that many express orders. Even though it's offered on all of my listings, I don't get many express orders, but occasionally on a Monday, I find that I will get one, but it's a real flaw in the eBay system that they don't actually flag or put like a note or just highlight it or something to say, don't forget to send this one express. It's on shelf J3. I'm going to go grab that one so I don't forget. Okay, this is an old listing. It's been listed since 2023 and it's sold on a 30% off sale and it's sold for $29.99. So it was listed for 30 something. And yeah, anyway, $30 still for an old listing I'm happy with, because quite often I'm giving away the old listings at a much lower price. So yeah, Walkabout Chefs by Steve Sunk. All right, let's get this express one. Okay, I've got all these bags here that are actually full of listed books. They're books that I photographed at home about a week ago. I just had a couple of days working, well, just being at home, and so I photographed some of these books that I had in my garage, and they were bundles. They were just Mills and Boon bundles, and I photographed them all, and then I had to bring them in here, but now I need to skew them, so it's a little bit of a pain, but I had to bring them in because they were all listed. I think that's enough tape. They can see that's express. Right, I'm not in a rush today, and it actually feels really nice to not be in a rush on a Monday. Mondays are normally such a stressful day where you just feel like, I don't know, they're just always busy. You come back from the weekend and you just got so much to do. I've actually had my store into time away for the last, the time away finished on Friday. Put my store into time away on Tuesday and then finished on Friday. Right. Time for some Monday cleanup. Organising, cleaning, resetting all the stuff that I should have reset the other day. just trying to do about 20 minutes of stock take. Just try and clear a shelf or two because I do have some photography to do, and I'm just trying to clear some shelves by consolidating or just getting rid of some of these old books that have just been here for too long. So when I say consolidate, I'm just basically taking some of the shelves that I'd like to empty and then re-skewing them onto shelves that are like half full. So I'm topping up some other shelves and reducing other shelves to nothing, basically. So I've got clear shelves for photography. See that one? It's been listed since the January 2024. No viewers, it's already low end. I might get rid of that one. Oh, this one I definitely want to get rid of if it's still in there, because that is a big book that just never sells. I like doing this because it gives me the opportunity to look at a shelf, see if there's anything on the shelf that's missing. It gives me a chance to see if I've got things that are sitting on the shelf and they're not even listed anymore. So it really doesn't take very long to do this. You only need like 10 minutes, then you can get like a shelf done. The other thing I'm trying to do is move all the individual books that are in the aisle just behind the camera there and get them more down here. And I'm trying to make it so like the individual books are down this half and the bundles are down that half. It just makes it easier if for example, I can't find an item that sells and it's a bundle. Rather than me looking down all these shelves, if I know I've just got like these couple of bundle aisles, I only have to search the bundle aisles. I don't have to search all the rest. But when I've got them scattered throughout, I'm like, if I can't find something, I'm going down every single aisle to look for it. So I'm really trying to like separate the bundles to the individual books, and it just makes it easier when I'm like rephotographing them and consolidating and all this kind of stuff. If I've got separate aisles for separate things, even down the end, I try and put a lot more of the smaller paperback fiction books. So I've kind of got like a bit of a method to my madness, but yeah, the bundles I want all down here, and on the bundle aisle, I've still got some shelves that are like a bit of a mixture between half bundles and half stacks of individual books. And those are my priorities at the moment. Because I've got so many bundles to photograph, the priority is getting that bundle aisle as sorted as I can and as clear as I can so they can make way for photographing all these new ones. This book is by Dr. Libby Weaver, and I quite often get books by Dr. Libby Weaver, but this one's been listed for a long time. So what I've done now is I've just done a search in my store for Dr. Libby Weaver. I've got 3 other books, although 2 of them might be the same. One might be a hardcover and one might be a paperback. I'll just have to check those, slightly different covers. All of them, I've got 2 that have been listed since 2023 and one since 2025. Some of her books sell faster than some of the other ones. Because I've got this one plus 3 others, I'm going to pull the other 3 from the shelf. I'm going to stack them up, make a bundle, and then I'm going to rephotograph them, and I'm going to try and sell them as a value bundle rather than 4 books that aren't really selling. Might only be 3. These 2, they've kind of got the same title, very similar. In fact, they are almost exactly the same title except for the word buy. So that's not good either, because eBay doesn't like it when you've got the same title of a book. So I can see that these 2 books look slightly different on the cover, but they're possibly exactly the same book, just a different version. And if I've titled them pretty much exactly the same, then sometimes eBay can hide those listings from search because it doesn't like duplicates. So that could also be a reason why those books aren't getting any views and aren't getting any searches. But let's pull these and have a look. Okay, so I have made a mistake here. So I've listed both of these books as Dr. Libby's Real Food Kitchen. So the title is exactly the same, except one of them says by Dr. Libby Weaver and the other one just says Dr. Libby Weaver. So it's only missing the by. So I'm sure eBay doesn't like that. It's actually 2 different books, which is a mistake of mine. Dr. Libby's Real Food Chef, Dr. Libby's Real Food Kitchen. I've possibly done a sell similar and forgotten to change the keyword in the title from kitchen to chef. Anyway, I've got these, oh, look at this, Dr. Libby's Real Food. Dr. Libby's Real Food Kitchen. Right, so now we have to look carefully at these. They look like 2 totally different books. They're not. Dr. Libby's Real Food Kitchen, Real Food Kitchen. So we've got the same book. So what I'm going to do, these 2 have got the same kind of style to them, even though they're a different book. Plus I've got what am I supposed to eat? I'm going to pull these 3 anyway now. I'm going to create a bundle for those. This one here that I delisted, I might rephotograph that one and just give it a whole new listing because I've already deleted it now. I can go back and redo it, but I may as well just add it to the photo pile and get, just try and refreshen it. Sometimes you can retake a photo, redo the listing, different keywords, and it totally spikes it up. Right. This book is taking my fancy. It's been listed for a year. Mindfulness and Money, the Buddhist Path of Abundance. Okay, so I found one book on that shelf. This used to sell really well, this book. It used to sell for quite good money, up around the $50, even maybe $60. This book used to bring me quite a lot of money. Just comped it. I reckon it's probably be lucky to get me $30. I'll probably list it for around that $30 now, but sadly it's just one of those books that isn't worth as much money anymore. And now I've got another fresh shelf. Okay, next job of the day. So these are the two shelves here that I just consolidated. So now I've got these free for bundles. I took some individual books that were off this shelf as well. These are all fairly fresh listings, so I've got room on that shelf there. So over time, I've also condensed these shelves down here and made some room. This one's got some room on it, but it's not very organized, so I probably will do that one. This shelf doesn't have much. I can consolidate that at some point. This shelf here with some of these like individual books, these will be old listings. These are the ones I need to go through and check. That shelf has been skewed. These ones down here, individual books, they'll be another one of the ones that I'll get rid of soon. Again, here we've got individual books. I basically just want, see how this shelf is like half bundles and then a stack of individuals? I don't want that. I just want this entire row here simply for bundles. These were all in my home garage, and at home I've got a spare trestle table, I've got a spare ring light, I've got spare core flute for taking photos on. And I was just bored this particular Sunday night and thought, why don't I just take these photos? But I didn't have any of my cling wrap, but I did have sandwich bags at home. So I've written the sandwich bags, and then I've got the number. Each of them has been numbered. Now, all of these have been listed in my store, but they don't have a SKU attached to them. So now what I've got to do is I've got to be able to take these bundles, enter the new SKU into the, into the eBay, and find them a shelf. So what I'll probably do is I'm probably going to use these two shelves that I just cleared, and I'm going to come over here and put these bundles onto those SKUs. Now, these little plastic bags, they don't keep the books as tight as when I'm using the cling wrap to wrap them all up. But obviously I was at home and I needed a way to keep the bundles together so I didn't lose any or get confused. Like, imagine if I hadn't done that, it would have been impossible if I didn't have a way to tie them together. Now, one thing that I did find quite good about these bags is I currently have a sore shoulder. So doing this rotating of these isn't great for my shoulder at the moment. So the bags were actually quite good and alleviated some pain I would have got from wrapping up a lot of these bundles. But I don't think going long term, this would be a great solution for me to store the books in. It would be much more costly to be using bags like this than using this cling wrap, which is very, very cheap. But I don't know, I am trying to think of a way whether or not I move to like rubber bands or something, or is it just that I've just got to do less wraps, or I don't know. I've just got to be a little bit conscious of my shoulder, not just at the moment, because the shoulder injury is caused from basically like repetitive strain. So I'm looking at things that I do in my business and trying to work out what would be a good option for me to try and alleviate some of these things that are causing repetitive strain. I don't think using bags like this is the solution. They do roll around in there a little bit, especially the ones that don't have as many books in there. They're not tight. They'll be okay for this load, but going forward as a long-term thing, this is not a solution that I want to go down. I'm going to put a little bit of tape just to firm those up. I'm going to put a proper SKU number on the end of each one. That way, when I'm on the shelf, I can actually see what it is. I've got to reskew these anyway in the system. I may as well change the number up as well. Secretly, I would like to actually take them out of the bags and wrap them, but I'm not going to do that. This is why I don't like doing things at home, really. I've got books and stuff at home sometimes as a backup. You know, it's a bit like when COVID hit and we all just got like locked down in our house. If you didn't have anything to do in your house, you didn't have any work to do. So I like to have a little bit of a security pile there. And the other night it was good. While I was bored, I was like, yep, I'll do this. But the problem is I don't know what shelf I'm going to put it on because I don't have any empty shelves here. So there was not like, I can't just enter this properly into the system. Like there's always going to be double up of work done. If I do something at home, I have to come back here into the warehouse and redo the SKU. So it's just how it is. Some of these have actually sold. I guess if I look at it and I notice that the quantity is 0, I'll just keep it aside. Right, let's put these on the shelf. Now I've got 5 bundles of those Meals and Boon that have all sold within 48 hours. So I've just gone and printed the labels for those because I've got them all here, and before I do anything else, it's just easier if I get them all into my containers. I'm not actually picking and packing every single item that I've got waiting to ship today, and I'll tell you why that isn't a reason. I just haven't been able to concentrate fully while I'm doing all this skewing and consolidating of shelves, and I just can't get into a flow where I can talk yet. So I'm going to pack these up. I've also got 2 international orders here. So I'm going to, while I've got them there, I'm going to wrap them up here as well while I go. So yeah, I feel a little bit out of flow. It's not a normal Monday for me, I guess you would say. And then these 2 are going into a large. So we've got things. And then these 2 are also going out to same buyer. I listed about 70 items in the one day, and within 24 hours I'd already sold 10 of those 70. So I thought that was pretty good. I've sold more of them now, but it's nice to see when you do like some fresh listing, when you're like, oh, sold, and there was no coupons on any of them. They were all selling for full price. And I thought that was pretty good to sell 10 out of the 70 within a 24-hour period. So yeah, hopefully the rest of them move along pretty quickly. I know I've sold more than the 10. There's more in this that aren't these particular bundles, but we're in that lot of batch listing. But yeah, it's always a nice feeling when you list something and it sells straight away. You're like, I need more of that. I'm looking down here now and I'm just noticing the jumper that I've got on. So I will just give, before I forget, quick shout out to Book Express in New Zealand. They have sent me this sweatshirt or zip up or hoodie or whatever you want to call it. Oh, maybe they sent it to me last winter, I think. I've actually worn it quite a lot of times. I don't know if I'm ever worn it when it's in videos, but it's so funny. I wore it to one of the book fairs. Oh, last year sometime I wore it to one of the book fairs. And normally when I go to a book fair, because I have trolley loads and I'm buying so much and I'm grabbing fairly fast, people do often stop and look at me, other shoppers, and they're like looking at my trolley like, what, this girl is buying a lot of books. And I quite often get stopped and asked questions. Do you have a shop? And I was funny because I remember saying to Tom, I had this jumper on at the book fair just by chance, and I didn't get questions like, do you work for a bookshop at that particular book fair? So everybody obviously thought that I was working for Book Express and they obviously just thought, oh yep, she's got a business called Book Express. So free advertising for you there, Book Express. I promise I would never try and give you a bad name. While I'm out and about, I'm always conscious when I'm anywhere that I am representing my own brand. So you've chosen the right person to let endorse your bookstore subconsciously. Okay, let's pack this one up because this is going overseas. I don't think I even told you what they were. Let me find out how much I sold them for. Right, so one of them sold for $79.20 and the other bundle sold for $68. They're both from the same series. The series is called Sweet Dreams. They are vintage. Geez, they were around when I was a teenager, so they're probably 90s. Vintage 90s teen romance. The old Sweet Dreams. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're 90s because I remember reading them. These ones, very sought after. These ones are actually in order. So these are like 191 to 200. When I got these books, I got a really large haul of them and I literally had nearly 1 to 200 in the exact order. It was like one of those collections that you just never ever find. And they are very valuable. So I lotted them up into bundles of 10 and all of them have sold for around that $70 to $100 per bundle, and I would have probably had 20 of the bundles originally, and I would think that I've maybe only got 1 or 2 of them left. I don't think I've got very many of them left. They have sold. They have been very, very popular. A lot of them have also gone out to the same buyer. There's been a couple, this is a repeat buyer as well. There's been a couple of buyers that have bought like quite a lot in the collection, obviously trying to fill their own collection. 1.8 kilos. 1.8 kilos, 1.809 actually. Put it in here with the Express. The label's going to get printed up at Tom's. I think that one I didn't even take much note of what it looked. I think it was around the $70 to send that parcel. Where are we up to? I feel like I need a drink of water. It's like the picking needs to start now, the proper picking. Right, now I've got about 70 orders and I don't actually want to pick all of them today because of my shoulder. And I'm trying to rest it a little bit, and none of these orders are actually due out until tomorrow. So I kind of figure if I can get half of them picked and packed today and half of them tomorrow and break up the task, then that will be better for me. So I'm going to look at the time now. It's 10:30. I'm going to see, I don't know how long it's going to take me to pick about half of these. So I've got like 70 orders, half of them is 35 orders. I'm thinking if I do 30 minutes of picking, then I should have all of those half done. So it's 10:30 exactly this morning. So I'm going to like put the timer on and I'm going to pick for half an hour. And then that's it. That's however many I pick in this half an hour, that is what I'm going to do. So we'll see how many I can do. I'm going to run around now and then I'll meet you back at the packing station and we'll pack them up together. $11 o'clock, 30 minutes, and I picked every single order. Plus the extra 2 that came in when I did it. So I think I had 75 orders and I picked them all in that 30 minutes. So there you go. I underestimated how fast I could do it. I thought I'd only get like 1 a minute, kind of taking in. Some of them are faster to pick. Some of them take me longer simply because I can't find them all sometimes. There was 2 orders that I couldn't see easily while I was picking, so I left them and I've come back. So there was 2, minus 2 orders that I couldn't find. And yeah, two more Meals and Boons just sold out of those plastic bags. So that's 7 bags of those Meals and Boons that I listed already gone, all sold for full price around that $35 to $40 a bundle. Okay, now I've got to do some labels. I wasn't going to do all of these books. My arm does feel a little achy after just picking all of those. I'll explain more what's going on with my arm when I get to the packing bench. But I don't know. It's 11 o'clock. Should I should I pack them all or just pack some? I'm going to go to the toilet. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the toilet and get that water that I never had before, that I said I was going to have some water and I didn't have any water because, you know, typical me, forgot to have the water. I'm going to go to the toilet and I'm going to have some water. So it's almost 11:30. Basically, by the time I went to the toilet and print all these labels, it takes me about 20 minutes to print all the labels for like 75 orders. So the labels is nearly as time consuming as picking the books. How ridiculous is that? Righto, first one we've got the Complete Modern Asian Cookbook. This one is sold for $38.88. Oh, I feel a bit shivery, like I need a hot cup of coffee. Now, I don't know if I'm going to pack all these orders. None of them are due out until Tuesday. Last Monday, so what, today's Monday. Last Monday, I was here working, packing my orders, and it got to, I don't know what time, but I ended up making myself a doctor's appointment on Monday afternoon. I told you that I've had this sore shoulder, and I did actually have an ultrasound on my shoulder, so I'll tell you what's wrong with my shoulder in a second. But on Monday, this had been coming slowly over the weekend. I had also like a really, really sore leg. So it was all down my thigh here. So it kind of felt like my whole right side had become sore. I could feel it a little bit here in the hip as well. But all down my leg was extremely sore to the point where I was walking heavily with a limp. Like I was walking with a limp. And I thought, oh, what's going on with my leg? And so I'd had the scan on my arm, the ultrasound, the week prior. And what they found on my arm is that I've got bursitis. So inflammation of the bursa. Basically, the bursa is the little fluid sac that goes between the shoulder joint, basically, the rotator cuff, probably. So the bursa is supposed to be paper thin. Mine is about this thick with inflammation and swelling. So that is what's causing the shoulder pain. I've also got quite a lot of inflammation in the biceps. So when he did his ultrasound, the doctor had said that they could give me some cortisone. So he decided that he thought 70% of the issue was probably the bursa and 30% was probably the bicep. But he decided to, because the bursa was more inflamed, he decided to go with that one, to where he put the cortisone. So he did give me a cortisone shot in my bursa. The cortisone shot, it hasn't really worked. It's still very sore. It's still very painful. Maybe a little bit less, but it's still aggravating me a lot. Still aggravating to sleep at night. Every position is painful. And I am finding that I'm needing to do tasks in smaller doses. That's why I set myself the limit before there. 30 minutes I'm going to pick the orders, and then I felt like that will be enough for my shoulder. I actually can feel it now a little bit more after doing the picking than before I started the picking. Yeah, maybe 30 minutes was too long. Maybe I should have done 15 minutes. But on Monday afternoon, this leg was really bothering me. I was walking with really such a limp that I made a doctor's appointment to go back to him. And I was wondering, I thought he might give me a referral to go and have an MRI to see if there was something more going on besides just the bursa, since there's the bursa and the biceps. Appointment was at 10 to 5, I think. And he just kind of looked at me and he was like, straight to the emergency at the hospital. He said, I need you to go to emergency. They need to check you and make sure you don't have a blood clot or anything in your leg. He said, where you're pointing to is the type of area where you can get a blood clot. I want to rule it out and we'll go from there. So I went over to the emergency. So I'd come all day at work, straight to the GP, straight over to the emergency. I left the emergency about midnight. They did some blood tests and checked me all out. There was a lot of waiting around, and they ruled out that I didn't have a blood clot. So that was fantastic. So the lady at the hospital, the doctor, it was actually a doctor, she suggested to me, she said, look, I think this is not a blood clot. She said, I think you're either compensating with how you're walking and moving around because of the shoulder, or it's muscular. She said, but I think what the best thing for you to do would be to take 5 days off work, hit the anti-inflammatory tablets really hard. She gave me a script for endone. So I don't know if that's only in Australia or if you have that in America or UK, but it's a very strong pain med. And the only times I've ever had endone before is when I had really bad pneumonia in hospital, and it just knocked me out asleep. So she said to me when I went in there, "Do you want an endone now?" And I was like, "No way, I won't be able to drive home. I'll be asleep on your bed here and you won't be able to get me out of here." So she gave me the script, so I've got some endone. And basically she just said, you need to really rest this and hit those anti-inflammatories hard. So that was Monday. So Tuesday, I had orders. It wasn't like I wasn't expecting to have the day off or anything. I also had a big haul coming in, which you might have spotted as I walked in the door very first thing this morning. I got another cage in here that contains some books that I got a bulk haul from on Tuesday. So anyways, I ended up spending the day in here Tuesday, sorting my business out, doing this haul, packing my orders, and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I put my store into time away, and that was it. So I was done then. I stayed home Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tom and I took the weekend off Saturday and Sunday. We didn't come in here to work at all. We did go out driving around, did some road tripping, did a little bit of sourcing, not much. But Tom carries everything for me. I don't have to carry anything. And so basically I've had my 5 days. Now my time away finished on Friday. So nothing in my store is actually due out till tomorrow. I gave myself that extra buffer because I got 2 days shipping. Even though time away finished like late Friday, it gives me till Tuesday to have the packing. I've got these 75 issues. I pretty much do have 75 issues. I've got these like 75 orders, which is less than what I would normally have in that time period. So quite often on a Monday, I have like 75 orders, and that's just from Friday afternoon onwards. But this has been in time away since Tuesday afternoon. So these orders that I've just picked, the 75 orders, this is what I've got in time away for 5 days. So since Tuesday afternoon. So sales are definitely down when you're in time away. I think the best day that I had was Saturday, which was obviously time away finished about midnight on Friday. And then Saturday, the sales spiked back up. I had a pretty good day, maybe about 700, I think it was. But then yesterday it was really quiet again. It was only a few hundred. Basically today, my plan was I didn't really want to come back in here and do like a really long full day. It is now 11:40 in the morning. My aim is to just pack some of these up. And because the arm does feel a little bit irritated after the picking, I'm not going to pack them all, but at least they're all here so I can finish them off tomorrow. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue because with bursitis, I mean, they give you the cortisone and then the cortisone doesn't, like, it masks the pain. It doesn't stop what the reason is for the pain. And this is my right arm. It's so hard, guys, to not use it. Like, I know even doing this, I should be doing like this. It just feels so awkward and it's really, really hard. The hospital gave me a sling as well, and they recommended that I use the sling for 1 or 2 hours a day, just as a reminder to myself. It's break time, don't use it. So it's really just to stop you. I mean, when you're in the sling, it's really hard. You can't even really use your phone. So it's kind of just like a good reminder to just have a little bit of a break. But even like this, like the erasing, it's just that constant movement. And you know, like this bursitis, the difference between bursitis and tendonitis is bursitis kind of doesn't ease when it's at rest. So with tendonitis, it hurts while you're doing stuff and while you're stretching and while you're reaching up. But with bursitis, it does that as well, but it also just aches on rest. So you don't really get any break from it. So that's why you haven't seen any videos from me also for the last week. I really tried to listen to the doctor and have like a proper break. And, you know, I had days at home, I just didn't do anything. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I just literally stayed home, Spent some time with my new granddaughter. But it really, when you get an injury like this, where you know it's one of those injuries that you got to go and have, I got to go and have physio. I'm probably going to go and have some acupuncture. But I don't know, like it's just one of these things that it's, the only way to stop it is by changing things. That's why I'm thinking of alternatives for the plastic wrap. Is there anything that I can use? I'm just trying to work ways. Like when you saw me pick the items, a lot of people say to me, why don't you use the trolley and put everything on the trolley? Well, the problem is I'm picking in order. So if I had trolleys at the end of every aisle and I'm just putting them at the end of every aisle, then I'm getting all the books out of order. You'll notice when I'm picking the orders, I'm trying to only hold like 3 or 4 books at a time, which as soon as it starts to feel like a bit of weight, I'm putting it down. If I get a big bundle, I put it down. So I'm trying not to walk around with many books in my arms as I'm picking. I'm definitely using the trolleys more. I'm not going to lie, it's definitely made me think about my life as a bookseller. You know, bookselling is a laborious grind. It's a, you know, you're constantly lifting heavy things. And this is a bit long, this one. I'm cheating here. I'm going to see what I'm doing. This bundle is actually a little bit long for this mailer. So I'm going to cover it up. The ladies at my post office taught me this trick to put a little bit of fragile tape on it. It's not really fragile. Okay. Yeah, it's when you injure yourself like this, and it's the type of injury that's not just going to go away. The only way this injury goes away is that I do things in my life that aren't going to irritate this. Otherwise, I'm sure it's just going to keep flaring up for the rest of my life. Having this thing, it's really annoying. So definitely, it's had me questioning some things about my business, and it's got me thinking, like, how can I maintain running this business with these type of issues? Oh, someone's ringing me. Boss, hold on, it's Tom. Hi, babe.
You coming? Coffee, pie?
Coffee. I need a coffee. Yeah, my arm could do with a break, actually. Are you picking me up?
Yeah, I'm out the front now. Let's go.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
I'm going to go get the coffee. I've been rambling. Okay, I'm back. Quick little 15-minute break up to the coffee shop. God, I can't believe how cold I am here this morning. I wasn't cold until I got to the packing bench, like picking, and I guess when I sit there next to doing my labels, I've got a little heater, but as soon as I got to this packing bench today, I was freezing cold. We got up the coffee shop and all I wanted was some hot chips. So not very healthy, but that's all I wanted. I was so cold. I was like, I can't have a sandwich. I need some hot chips or something. Righto, let's finish this. I don't know where I was up to talking about. All I know is that I think I was saying that I'm reassessing where I'm at with my business and how I can make this sustainable long term. It is a little bit of a worry for me, I'm not going to lie. But in the short term, the solution is going to be, 1, I'm going to be taking some time off whenever I can. So what I mean by that is I'm going to probably try and have I've got to be in here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for packing. But it means that I can take some Tuesdays and Thursdays off. So it's very likely that I'll still probably do a little bit of work, but maybe like not so much warehouse work on Tuesdays and Thursdays for a little while until the arm starts feeling a little bit better. What else am I going to do? Looking at just trying to limit the chunk time that I spend on anything. So I'm the type of reseller who normally does a lot of batching. So I batch take my photos. So sometimes I sit there and take photos for 2 or 3 hours. Sometimes I list for 2 or 3 hours in a row. Sometimes I sort books for hours. And I've just decided that shorter intervals are going to be what's going to save me at the moment. So half an hour doing one task, half an hour doing another task. And basically that's how I'm going to try and get through this at the moment, shorter intervals. So like 30 minutes picking. I actually think 30 minutes picking was maybe too much today because I can feel it in the arm. I did just go and take my anti-inflammatory. This is from Bernadette. I don't know if she watches me. If you do, Bernadette, thank you. She's bought 3 of my community cookbooks that I just put into my store the other day. We got homemade. This is from one of the local primary schools in Canberra, Theodore Primary School. We've got the Parliament House cookbook, so cooking for your mates. This is a cookbook of recipes from all the staff at Parliament House. And then we've got the cookbook for the Mikalago Primary School, which is just out of Canberra. Mikalago's not far from Canberra. But yeah, all of these are little community cookbooks. So Bernadette, if you watch me, thank you very much. And I am absolutely positive that these recipe books will have some delicious family favourite meals inside them. If I can have some half days, I'm going to have some half days where I come in here and do 4 or 5 hours work, and instead of doing 8 or 9 10 hours work, I'm just going to do 4 or 5 hours work. I might not get this video finished all in one session because I do have to also be careful of how long I spend on the mouse, the computer mouse. So anyway, that is my woe me with my injury. Having an injury does certainly make you think about life, especially when it's an injury that's based on like doing repetitive tasks. So the other thing the doctor did say at the hospital was if I have some rest, hit this hard, anti-inflammatories, and then like in a couple of weeks, if I'm still in like heaps of pain, she did suggest going to see the doctor about getting some testing for some rheumatoid arthritis. So happy, joy. What do we got? 0557. This is a brand new listing, this one. It's called Good Eats by Alton Brown. And it's 3 big cookbooks. Found this at the house the other day. Photographed it, listed it. And voila. Literally sold, I think, within 48 hours as well. Just going to double mailer it because it's heavy. I don't want the corners to get damaged in post. Not that I think they will, but I'm still going to. This is a good example, actually. The bundles are heavy. Obviously, the heavier the book bundles, the harder that is on my body, the harder that is on my shoulder. I've got a lot of bundles to do. Not all of them are heavy like this. Let me put this one down. Not all of them are actually heavy like that. But it's something that, again, as I'm sitting here processing, how am I going to manage this long term to make sure I don't have long-term issues? One of the issues is heavy bundles. Heavy bundles quite often make me more money. If I want to put books into my store that make me more money, quite often it's the bundles that make me more money. But quite often the bundles are heavier. So I've just got this fine balance of trying to work out. And I think when I do my listing, like at the moment, because I can't list, because I can't do things in as big as chunk, I can't do 3 hours of photography, I can't do 3 hours of listing. So my plan is less listings, less items going into my store, but making sure those items that I am putting into the store are higher. So I'm really trying to make sure that I put some of these like higher bundles, but also at the moment leaving some of the heavier ones and choosing the ones that are a little bit of the smaller book. Oh, guys, woe is me. Right, what do we got here? iodine. This was quite good. I've got 2 little books here, both on iodine and why you need it, and the iodine crisis. So I just put them together. They're not by the same author or anything. I just thought I got them together. They were on the same topic. They'd obviously been donated by the same person. And I've not sold iodine books before. I listed them for $45 and they sold for $40 on an offer. I did get one really lowball offer on them and I just knocked it back straight away. But yeah, $40, and that was a fast seller as well. So yeah, books on iodine. Who knew? Who knew? This is a pretty good sale as well. I think this one sold for about $80. 2 books on the Ford Courier. They're repair manuals, books 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure they went out for around that $70, $75, $79 mark. Theoretically, if I get all of these packed today and nothing's due out tomorrow, because I've got the 2 days postage, so any orders that come through today, they won't be due out till Wednesday. So I could take tomorrow off if I wanted another rest, but I don't think I will. I would like to do a little bit of photography and listing tomorrow because I haven't done any since that last lot. Right, this was a good bundle. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 9 books here, all by Danielle Steele. Just regular women's fiction, chick lit, romance kind of novels. All by Danielle Steele. Sold for $65. These are going out to one of my most favourite buyers. Her name is Lynn. And she just loves Mills and Boon. And she sent me a message the other week and she said, "Hi Mel, I'm just letting you know that I'm not going to order from you for a while because my friend gave me a whole lot of Mills and Boons. And I thought I may as well read all these ones before buying any more off you. But I just thought I'd let you know in case you're wondering where I am." And then she comes back like a few days later and she says, "I'm back." She's like, "Oh, the ones my friend gave with me, they're too thick." And she's got some injuries. Well, she sounds a bit like me. She's injured herself all over the place. She tells me all her stories and all her injuries. She's like, "Oh, the other ones my friend gave me, they're too thick." Because some of the Mills and Boon are like 2-in-1 stories and they are a bit thicker. And she's like, "So I can't read them, so I'm coming back. I'm just going to keep ordering from you." So I absolutely adore her. She's just every time she messages me, every time she orders, she messages me. And every single time she brings a smile to my face. So we may as well just keep going now. I wasn't going to pack all these, but I think because Tom interrupted me because he needed a coffee. And I was so cold that couldn't have come at a better time. So I think because I got that little if I didn't have that little break, I would have needed to have taken a break. And then whether or not I would have just gone back home or if I would have done something else, I don't know. It is very, very hard, but to not use this hand and also just trying to keep like this rather than going out. But I'm sure anyone who has had bursitis will feel for me. And I will feel for anyone that's also had bursitis. I haven't really showed you or told you what sold here today. So apologies for that. I'll make sure in one of my next videos I'll give you a little bit more of a naming of what's sold. Right, 20 past 1. I swear the time just gets away. Like little bits of time. So like you can go, okay, 30 minutes to pick all the orders, 20 minutes to like print all the labels, but it's all those little 5-minute time slots. I'll just quickly do this, or I'll go back and forth here, or I'll go up there, or I'll go up to drop some stuff up in the rubbish bin, or drive up the mailers. It's all the little 5-minute things that just accumulate and make the day just like disappear. Disappear. But that's it. I'm going to leave the warehouse today. I'm not going to do any more on the arm today. I might do a little bit on the laptop at Tom's house, but I'm not going to lift any more books or pick up another book today. That is it for carrying and lifting. I'm done. I'll see you back here for tomorrow for another day in the life vlog. Spend the day with me, work with me, document my day, whatever it is, whatever you want to call these types of videos. Some days I don't even know myself what it is that I do. I just try and document my day here for you and show you what I'm doing every day. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I was going to blow a kiss and I kind of just went, bye.